What's going on, everyone? Captain Spicy Pants here. If you've been following our Zero to Endgame series, you've seen Bob go from a level 1 cadet to a seasoned captain. But along the way, I realized there are so many hidden mechanics that the game just doesn't tell you. Today, I'm breaking down the top 10 veteran tips that will save you hundreds of hours and make your experience that much better. Let's dive in. And number 1 is the Dilithium Shell game. In STO, your progress is gated by an 8,000 daily refinement cap. Now, that might seem like a lot early on, but let's take a look at the math. To get the Tilly Shield from the Discovery reputation, it costs 32,500 dilithium. On one character, that's 4 days of doing nothing but refining. By rolling 3 or 4 alternate characters, you can farm dilithium on all of them and move it to your main using the Dilithium Exchange trick. The way you do this is by opening your Dilithium Exchange menu and scrolling down to Exchange. Make sure you are on the Buy tab. Then list the amount of dilithium you want to set as a buy option. In this case, we're going to move 8,000 dilithium. Next, make sure the price per dilithium is at 25 because nobody is selling Zen that cheap. It ensures your dilithium just sits in the escrow safely until you log into your main or other alt to grab it. So go ahead and click submit. You'll notice it removes your dilithium from your character and puts it into a window. Now log off that character and jump over to another character you want that dilithium on. Once again, open the Dilithium Exchange and in that window, click cancel offer. You will see your 8,000 dilithium that gives you the option to click withdraw on it. And now you have successfully moved your dilithium. Next up, we have easy transwarps. The game wants you to use the transwarp system to certain sectors throughout the game, but they often have long cooldowns to jump from system to system. Instead, keep missions like Home or Partisans open in your journal. These missions act as permanent free beacons. By clicking Transwarp in the mission tracker, the game teleports you to those specific hubs without creating a Transwarp timer. Over a full leveling experience, you'll save hundreds of hours traveling from system to system, whether you're doing Tour of the Galaxy or endeavors. Using missions is a surefire way to get to your final destination that much faster. Before we get into number 3, if you find any of these tips helpful or want to see more in the future, consider dropping us a sub here on YouTube as it greatly helps out the channel and keeps the content train flowing. Bob and I definitely enjoy these series and want to see you succeed on your journey throughout Star Trek Online. That being said, we're going to do a double feature for number 3 and 4, and that is the Undine Duty Officer experience. I combine both of these as it is a 2-prong attack. Usually, I find that when I am done playing for the day or I have some downtime between missions, I will send my character to the Undine Space Zone by traveling to the Solanae Dyson Sphere in the Beta Quadrant. Nice thing is, they have lifted the restrictions on this zone that you can enter it fairly early on. All you have to do is skip ahead in your mission journal to Solanae Dyson Sphere, circle within circles, beam down, speak to Sub-Commander Cole, and then beam back up and head to the left. You will now see pop-ups to go to the Undine Space Battle Zone. Now, why do we do this? Because duty officer assignments award many perks throughout the game and unlock chain assignments that can be later beneficial for you, such as Cation Dispersa for those making flight deck carriers. You may want to farm these for duty officers, but the second part is this is great for passive expertise. This zone itself has some of the highest rewarding values for duty officer missions, and even though the numbers look lower, they often critical and award values into the thousands of expertise. You'll want to stack expertise for various reasons, such as donating to fleet projects or the 2,000 expertise it costs per assignment for reputations. Moving on to number 5 and once again number 6, as they both complement one another, is 2 critical sets to start your journey. With the option to skip missions means you can ignore doing the linear storyline to jump into specific missions to farm gear that would help you throughout your character's progression. That is until you farm reputation gear or focus on other gear essential to building your character. I highly recommend farming the missions Midnight for the Soul Defense set, as it will greatly improve your survivability in space, and the mission Temporal Front for the 3-piece Nakuhl set for the ground play. Eventually, you'll probably replace the entirety of your space set and drop your ground 3-piece down to a 2-piece set, but as you're waiting to get those reputations, enjoy the rest of the game with these 2 sets. It will make that experience a little more feasible until you reach the higher milestones. Just try and do these before level 65, as the scaling in this game makes these missions rather difficult. Number 7, fast leveling for alt characters, and tying back to your dilithium farmers, I'm going to suggest here that you use the patrol system and set them to elite. Well, at least until level 52, because the game has an odd scaling system. Elite patrols early on, such as the 9th role, rescue and search, or trouble over Terra, spawn multiple enemies that will give you immense amounts of XP, and they don't really do any damage to your ship. It does, however, scale very steep in terms of damage and difficulty beyond this point. You might suffer. I recommend stopping at level 52 as the Admiralty system unlocks, and you can slot Admiralties that will carry the tune from 52 to 65 in no time, which segues perfectly into number 8, and that is Admiralties. Did you know you can get 2 Admiralty ships completely for free? The USS Postok from the mission Time and Tide, and the USS Sally Ride from the Naranja system in the Beta Quadrant. Of course, you can add to that roster for quote-unquote free by using our dilithium trick earlier, and snagging some Phoenix prize boxes, you can add yourself 4 more ships to your roster. So why do you need these ships? As a new player, you might not have much in terms of ship unlocks aside from what you've leveled up with, and what you have unlocked for free during an event such as the Noble class. A lot of Admiralty assignments award immense amounts of experience and dilithium. Running these daily will boost your character level from 52 to 65 and help gain specialization points at 65 so you can unlock more into your skill tree. I highly recommend doing these every day. Number 9 may seem kind of obvious, but as a new player, you might not be concerned about this until it hits you later on. I'm speaking on gaining salvage. Many items in Star Trek Online can be salvaged and done in mass quantities by opening either your inventory and click on an object and selecting salvage, or going to the salvage tab to mass salvage multiple items. So why is this important? Because as you begin to collect your gear for your characters, you're going to find gear often comes pre-rolled with stats, and sometimes those stats may not be what you need for your particular build. It will cost you quite a bit of salvage and dilithium to re-roll each stat on gear. The best ways to obtain salvage is by running patrols and salvaging everything you obtain from them. Of course, you can gain salvageable gear throughout playing the game and in TFOs, but if you're going to try to maximize your own gain without sharing loot with other players, then run patrols for the best outcome here. And last but certainly not least is recruitment events. Usually, every year, Cryptic will release 4 recruitment events. This includes the Gamma Recruitment Event, the Delta Recruit, the Temporal Agent, and the Klingon Defense Force Event. Creating a character during these events unlocks rewards that are account-wide. We're talking about permanent boosts to marks, rarity upgrades for gear, and even unique traits. Even if you don't play the character as a main, the perks they unlock for your main character are invaluable. The common misconception with these events is that you must complete all objectives during the event timeline. So, for instance, if a recruitment event starts from March 21st and ends April 21st, new players often think they must grind everything for all the rewards during this time frame. That is simply not true. All you need to do is create the character during this time frame and get the corresponding item, a transceiver of sorts, for that character, and once it sits in your inventory as an epic item, you have an infinite amount of time to complete the objectives. So try not to stress it too much and enjoy building these recruits at your own pace after the initial unlock. Well, there you have it, folks. The top 10 things I wish I knew before I started my STO journey. Applying even just a few of these will put you light years ahead of the average player. If you found this helpful, hit that like button and let me know in the comments what's the one tip you wish you knew on day 1. I'll see you in the next episode of our Zero to Endgame series. I'm Captain Spicy Pants, and I'll see you on the frontier.